everyone, and thank you so much for joining us here today at Elevate with C&M Coaching. My name's Maggie, and I have got a great call of the week for you here today. Now, this call that we're going to be doing today and reviewing is actually from a client that requested that we submit a lead to their dealership to see how their staff was handling their internet leads. Now, this is a service that we provide for all of our current clients. And what we'll do is go to your website and submit a lead posing as a customer. And this is even great if you're a salesperson that wants to make sure that you're responding to these as appropriately and quickly as possible, or if you just want advice. It's great if you're a sales manager to make sure that your team is doing what you're expecting of them. And it's also great as an owner so that you can get a good feel for what's happening at your store. One of the things that we'll do when we mystery shop is leave the phone line open for as long as you want. So we can really play the role of the customer in any capacity that you're looking for. You know, an indecisive customer who we speak to a couple of times. We can not answer the first call and then maybe answer the second or the third call. We can really customize this to match what you're trying to pinpoint as your dealership's issues. This particular dealership, we submitted the lead on the 5th of this particular month. 6 days went by and we still didn't have a phone call. So we picked up the phone and we called this particular dealership. And this call is pure gold. You guys have got to hear this. Now, just like all the other calls of the week that we've done, we will be scrubbing the dealership information. So that portion where she states the name of the dealership will sound kind of funny. I can't wait to share it with you. So let's get into it.
Good afternoon.
So the first thing I want to talk about is her greeting. Now, it was great that she said good afternoon. That's awesome. But basically, this is what she said. Good afternoon, ABC Motors. And then stopped. So what we should be doing is saying, thank you for calling C&M Coaching. This is Maggie. How can I help you today? So we want a full and complete greeting here. So we should have an opening in there. We should state the name of the company. We should say our name. And then we should end the call with the open, how can I help you? So that the customer can state their reason for calling.
Hi, I'm calling. I put a request in last week on a van that I saw on your website. I never ended up hearing from anybody.
The blue one?
Yes.
I did it for you.
So I'm going to be honest with you guys. The first time I heard this, my only thought was, wow, I need to help this store immediately. Now, I feel like it should be fairly obvious that when you're trying to earn someone's business, the best approach is not, I did answer you. And even though she didn't say it in that tone, she was immediately defensive. Like, how dare you accuse me of not contacting you? Now, as I said, 6 whole days went by and we did not receive a phone call. So what she considers answering the customer is clearly a text message or an email, which is not answering the customer. Now, as we've talked about previously, if your customers give you a phone number, pick up the phone and call them. If they don't answer, send them a text. If they don't respond to that, send them an email. Use all 3 methods of communication, but just emailing somebody is not considered contacting them. The chances that that person is going to read their email without receiving any sort of phone call from you are fairly slim. So what she should have said was, oh, I do sincerely apologize. I actually didn't pick up the phone and call you. I sent you an email and it's my fault. I should have called when I didn't hear back from you. I'm so sorry. Let me see what information I can get for you on that van. That van is a great choice. It's been super popular. Let me check and make sure it's still available. Now, while I'm doing that, I'd love to ask you just a couple of questions to see if you meet our basic minimum requirements for financing. This is a subprime lender. We should go right into financing details, but she should acknowledge the fact that she dropped the ball here and didn't call the customer.
I'm sorry. I never got Did you call or did I maybe miss a call?
No, I sent an email.
Oh.
So there you go. She emailed. Now, email should never be your sole or primary method of communication unless it's specifically requested to be so by your customer. You want to use all 3 methods of communication. I mean, this customer basically thought no one wanted to earn her business, and that's why they didn't reach out.
I must have missed that. Do you still have that one?
The blue one, yes.
Okay. And then what are you guys asking in terms of down payments on that?
That is a great question. Let me first start by making sure you meet our basic minimum requirements, and then we can take it from there. Go through your series of questions. If your customer asks again, then I would say, yes, how much do you have to put down now? Again, figure out what she has, and then you can take it from there and continue further handling the objection depending on how much cash she has.
12 to 15, I believe 1,500.
Okay.
Not bad, and it only has like 90,000 miles.
All right, so did you hear what she said there? It only has 90,000 miles. So this leads me to believe that this particular dealership probably has a lot of vehicles that are 150 to 200,000 miles because she thinks 90,000 is only 90,000. Now, one of the things that we always encourage people to do is not give out unsolicited information. She didn't ask about the mileage. Don't draw attention to those things. It's okay to be transparent. I absolutely want your customer to know what the mileage is on the vehicle. But you don't even know if this person meets your basic requirements. Like, do they have a job? Do they have proof of income? Do they have a reliable source of income? Have they been in the area long enough? These are all things that matter when it comes to determining if we can help someone or not. So everything should start with that. And as I've said before, it doesn't matter if the vehicle is zero down. If they don't meet your financing requirements, the car could be free and it doesn't matter. They have to meet program requirements first. So stop drawing attention to mileage, price, down payments. Handle your customers' questions as they come in. Don't volunteer unsolicited info.
We have a gentleman. It's actually up front now because we had a gentleman that came in, and I don't know, he had a call, so he said he'll come back this week.
So the first thing I thought of when I heard this was, okay, so he came in and he looked at it, but he didn't buy it. Why? So it's okay to try to build urgency and create excitement surrounding a vehicle, but you have to be careful what you actually say. You can't be like, oh, someone came in and looked at it, but I haven't heard back from him. That's way too much information. You're much better off saying, yeah, it's been super popular and leaving it at that. Don't get specific. You don't want to create doubt in the customer's mind.
And that's when he was looking at as well. But it's always first come, first served.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So yeah, so the price I believe is $69.95. It's really low miles, 90,000 miles.
Okay, so we got the mileage a second time, and then this time, as a free added bonus, we also got the price, which was not asked about. Neither of those things were brought up by the customer. So we really need to make sure that we are not giving out this unsolicited information. Now, in addition to that, you have no idea what your customer's budget or price range is. So until you have answers and you know that this person meets your basic minimum requirements, I would not be discussing price or mileage. You also want to make sure that you have their basic contact information. That way, if you give them a quote that's significantly higher than what they're looking to spend, you still have time to adjust. But I would honestly keep things a lot more vague than that because, again, you're not going to know for certain how much this customer can afford until you've seen their income, until we've helped them with a budget on what they can afford for a vehicle. So the best thing that you can do is ask them the price range they're hoping to stay within after you have first name, last name, phone number, and they meet your basic minimum requirements. And then really encourage them to come in so that we can find them the perfect vehicle that's going to fit within their budget while also meeting their needs.
And, we're asking 15, but we'll see. If you've been at your job and your house for more than a year or so, we could probably go to 12 minimum. And then your payment shouldn't be too bad.
Again, she hasn't asked this customer any information, so she has no idea if this person even qualifies for her financing program. She has no idea what on earth this customer thinks is affordable or not too bad, to quote the rep. She didn't ask the person any questions at all. In fact, even though the person started at the beginning of the call by explaining they were the ones interested in the van, she never even confirmed their name, any of their contact information. She never once called the person by their name. There's no personality from this rep at all. I would even go as far as to say there's very little effort here. It's as though this person doesn't even care about really trying to sell the vehicle. I mean, if you think about the call as a whole, there's no personal rapport being built. We haven't learned anything about the dealership. All we've heard about is the high mileage on the vehicle and the price on the vehicle, and that's it. She's not even talked about a warranty. She hasn't talked about any sort of reconditioning the vehicle has gone through. We have very little information at all. The only information that we've received has been unsolicited and negative. Pricing, mileage, or how about taking into consideration the fact that she said, I did respond to you. Nothing positive at all.
Okay. I will let you know if we want to come in and take a look at it then.
Where's our follow-up here? So give out your contact information, text it, email it, have them write it down, make sure they know how to get in touch with you. Offer them an appointment. She never even once said, hey, when do you want to come in and take a look at the vehicle? I've got time right now or later today. We're open till 7. So we didn't offer an appointment. We didn't see if the customer wants to come in. We're also not putting any follow-up plan in place. This is one of those types of calls where I say, why did we pick up the phone? Nothing productive happened in this conversation. If anything, we demotivated the customer by providing too much negative information.
Yeah, we're here from 9 to 5 every day.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yep, bye-bye.
Hey, she did something right at the end of the call. Did you catch it? She gave out their business hours. I have to say that was one of the only positive things I can state about the call. Voice inflection was poor. Engagement was poor. Zero rapport was built. We didn't use the customer's name at all in the call. We didn't even make sure they meet our basic minimum requirements. We didn't offer an appointment. We gave out multiple unsolicited information points. We didn't build any value in the dealership or in our reconditioning process or our sales process. We didn't even really try to boost the customer's confidence in their own ability to get financed. This is a classic example of a store that definitely needs assistance. They need help. And I guarantee you that if you're not regularly listening to your sales calls, you probably have some that sound like this. This is why it is so important to do phone training. These are the people that are talking to your customers. This is the voice of your business. Or if you're a salesperson yourself, make sure you're not doing these things. Listen to the coaching that I'm providing in this free training of this call and take those tips back and apply them to your actual sales calls. If you treat your customers with respect, if you follow a process, and if you shoot for an appointment in every single phone call, that is what we consider a successful phone call. And remember, people don't buy cars from places. They buy cars from people, but they're not going to buy cars from people they don't like. That is it for today's call of the week. Thank you so much for joining us here at Elevate with C&M Coaching. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I will talk to you all next week. Have a great day.